Chosen one, stop scrolling. Tonight is not a normal night for you. There's an energy shift happening that is about to change your path completely. You did not find this message by accident. Something deeper guided you here. And before this night ends, you will never see yourself the same way again. There are moments in life that divide your soul into two versions. The version before awakening and the version after. Tonight is one of those moments. Because the heaviness you've been feeling lately, the strange emotions, the silence, the distance from people, it was never punishment. It was preparation. You've been asking yourself why everything suddenly feels different. Why certain people disappeared. Why your spirit no longer connects to fake conversations. Why crowded rooms still make you feel alone. It's because your soul has started remembering who you truly are. And once that happens, nothing ordinary can satisfy you anymore. Most people will never understand this feeling. They are asleep inside routines, distractions, and illusions. But chosen ones were never meant to blend into the noise. You were born carrying something rare, a light that exposes truth. And the world becomes uncomfortable around people who carry truth. That is why your journey has been painful. Not because you are weak, but because spiritually awakened people are attacked differently. Your battles happen in silence, in your mind, in your energy, in moments nobody else sees. People called you too sensitive, too emotional, too different. But what if your sensitivity was actually your gift? What if your spirit could feel things before they happened? What if your intuition was never anxiety, but divine warning? Chosen one, think about your life carefully. How many times did your gut feeling prove right? How many times did your spirit tell you to walk away before betrayal happened? How many times did you feel energy shift before chaos arrived? That is not coincidence. That is awareness. Tonight, your spirit is becoming stronger. And deep down, you already feel it. That strange pressure in your chest lately. That exhaustion that sleep cannot fix. That feeling like something massive is about to happen. It's because your old self is dying. Not physically, spiritually. The version of you that tolerated disrespect is fading away. The version that chased approval is disappearing. The version that stayed silent to keep others comfortable is collapsing tonight. And the people around you can feel this change even before you say a word. Have you noticed how some people suddenly act strange around you? How they pull away without explanation? How your presence now makes insecure people uncomfortable? That happens when your energy begins evolving. Not everyone can go where you are going. Some people were assigned to test you. Others were assigned to betray you. And a few were sent to awaken you. Every painful experience had a purpose. Even the heartbreak. Even the abandonment. Even the nights you cried alone wondering why life felt unfair. Those moments shaped your spirit. They forced you to stop depending on the world and start listening to your soul. And that is the exact moment a chosen one becomes powerful. When they stop begging to be understood and start understanding themselves. The truth is, your awakening scares people. Because awakened souls cannot be controlled easily. You question everything. You notice manipulation. You feel fake energy instantly. And society fears people who can see through illusions. That's why many chosen ones feel isolated. The more spiritually aware you become, the smaller your circle gets. Because not everybody can walk with you into higher consciousness. Some people only connected with the broken version of you. They benefited from your confusion. But now, You are becoming dangerous to systems built on fear. Tonight is important because your spirit is crossing a line between survival and transformation. You are no longer just existing. You are awakening. And awakening is not peaceful at first. It feels lonely, confusing, heavy. You lose interest in old habits. You outgrow people you once loved. You start craving silence more than attention. Because your soul is recalibrating. The universe always isolates chosen ones before elevation. Remember that. Every season of loneliness carried hidden purpose. It was teaching you how to hear your inner voice without outside noise. Because where you are going, clarity matters more than approval. Tonight, many of you are feeling emotional for no reason. Random memories returning. Sudden realizations. Unexplainable dreams. That is not random. Your spirit is releasing old energy. Some of you are finally realizing who secretly envied you, who drained your energy, who smiled in your face while hoping you failed. And painful as it feels, this revelation is freeing you. Chosen ones always lose people before they level up. Because elevation requires separation. Read that again carefully. Elevation requires separation. The old chapter cannot follow you into the new one. And tonight, doors are quietly closing behind you forever. Not to punish you, but to protect your future. There is a reason you survived things that should have destroyed you. A reason you kept standing after betrayal. A reason your soul never fully gave up even during your darkest nights. Because your purpose is bigger than your pain. The enemy thought isolation would break you. Instead, it awakened you. The betrayal was supposed to destroy your confidence. Instead, it taught you discernment. The rejection was supposed to make you feel worthless. Instead, it redirected you toward your true path. Everything changed the moment you stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and started asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That shift alone changes destiny. Chosen one, tonight your energy is rising. And people can sense it, even if they cannot explain it. Your silence feels louder now. Your presence feels heavier. Your intuition feels sharper. Because spiritually, you are no longer asleep. The version of you waking up tonight is stronger, calmer, more connected, more aware. And once a chosen one fully awakens, they can never return to ignorance again. So if you've been feeling different lately, good. If you've been losing connections, good. If your soul has been craving change, good. That means transformation has already begun. Do not fear this night. Embrace it. Because years from now, you will look back and realize this was the moment everything shifted. The moment your spirit finally stopped shrinking itself for others. The moment you chose yourself. The moment you awakened fully. And listen carefully. Your story is not ending. It is finally beginning. There are people watching you silently right now. Not because you are famous. Not because you are perfect. But because your energy has changed in a way they cannot understand. You no longer react the same. You no longer chase the same things. And that shift is unsettling to those who benefited from your old self. Chosen one, the strongest transformation happens quietly. A tree does not scream while growing. The moon does not announce its power before lighting the entire night sky. And your spirit does not need validation while evolving. What is meant for you will recognize you naturally. Some of you have been feeling pulled away from social media lately. Pulled away from constant noise. Pulled away from fake friendships and meaningless conversations. That is because your soul is craving alignment now. Your spirit is tired of pretending, tired of entertaining empty energy, tired of shrinking itself to fit into places that no longer match your frequency. And yes, this awakening will cost you relationships. Not everyone deserves access to the new version of you. Some people only loved you when you were wounded, when you doubted yourself, when you were easier to manipulate. But now your eyes are opening, and awakened eyes are dangerous. You're starting to notice patterns others ignore, the hidden intentions behind words, the energy behind smiles, the truth behind silence. You can feel when someone secretly resents you. You can feel when someone enters your life with hidden motives. Because spiritual awareness sharpens discernment. That's why many chosen ones feel exhausted around certain people. Your spirit can sense energy before your mind fully understands it. And every time you ignore your intuition, your soul feels heavier. Tonight, your inner voice is asking you to trust yourself again. Stop doubting what you feel. Stop ignoring the signs. Stop betraying your spirit just to keep temporary peace. You already know who drains you. You already know what no longer aligns with your path. And deep down, you already know your life is changing permanently. The strange thing about awakening is that it often begins with destruction. Not physical destruction, but spiritual demolition. The universe starts removing illusions one by one. People you trusted reveal their true faces. Situations collapse unexpectedly. Comfort zones disappear. And suddenly, nothing feels stable anymore. But chaos is sometimes necessary before rebirth. A storm clears what no longer belongs. And chosen ones often go through spiritual storms before elevation arrives. That's why your life may have felt confusing lately. You were not losing control. You were losing attachments. Attachments to people who dimmed your light. Attachments to fear. Attachments to old identities. The old version of you could not enter your next chapter. So life had to shake you awake. Chosen one, there's something powerful happening tonight that many people will miss completely. The energy around the world feels different. Heavy for some, revealing for others. But for awakened souls, it feels like preparation. Like your spirit is standing at the edge of a new reality. Some of you have been experiencing vivid dreams lately. Dreams that feel more real than reality itself. Messages, symbols, warnings, visions of people from your past suddenly returning. That happens when your subconscious begins connecting to deeper spiritual awareness. Your spirit speaks in ways the logical mind cannot always explain. And the more awakened you become, the more sensitive you are to unseen energy. That's why crowded places drain you faster now. That's why silence feels healing. That's why you sometimes need isolation just to breathe spiritually again. People may call you distant now, but they do not understand what your soul is carrying. They do not understand the battles you fight internally every day. The constant pressure of feeling different in a world obsessed with conformity. The loneliness of seeing truth while others remain blind to it. But hear this clearly tonight. Being different was never your curse. It was your assignment. You were not sent here to copy the crowd. You were sent here to awaken others through your existence. Even your pain carries purpose. Even your scars speak messages. Even your silence teaches lessons. There are people who will heal simply by hearing your story one day. People who will find hope because you survived what tried to destroy you. That is why your life has never been ordinary. Your spirit carries impact beyond what you currently understand. And the darker the battle, the brighter the destiny usually is. Never forget that. Powerful souls often endure painful preparation, because strength built through suffering cannot be easily broken. Tonight, something inside you is finally realizing that you were never abandoned. You were redirected. Every closed door protected you from paths not meant for your spirit. Every betrayal exposed hidden truth. Every delay prepared you for deeper alignment. The universe has been forcing you to grow beyond your comfort zone because your purpose requires evolution. And evolution always feels uncomfortable before it feels empowering. That's why some nights feel emotionally overwhelming. Your soul is stretching into a higher version of itself. Chosen one, do you know why you've always felt like an outsider? Because your spirit remembers a deeper calling. While others chase status, attention, and validation, your soul craves meaning, truth, connection, purpose, and that makes you rare. You cannot fully return to shallow living anymore. Your awakening has already gone too far. You see through too much now. You feel too deeply now. You understand energy too clearly now. And tonight is strengthening that awareness even more. There's a reason your spirit kept surviving every attempt to break it. Because your awakening was destined. No betrayal could stop it. No rejection could destroy it. No darkness could erase what was planted inside your soul before you were even born. Chosen one, there are moments when the universe whispers to you softly. And there are moments when it shakes your entire life just to get your attention. This season you're in right now. This is not a whisper anymore. This is awakening at full force. You may not fully understand it yet, but something ancient inside your spirit is activating. A deeper awareness, a stronger intuition, a version of yourself that refuses to stay asleep any longer. And once that activation begins, your entire reality starts shifting. That's why old environments suddenly feel uncomfortable. Old habits feel empty. Even conversations that once entertained you now feel draining. Your spirit is evolving faster than your surroundings. And growth always creates separation before alignment. Some of you have been waking up between 2 and 4 and repeatedly. Feeling restless, feeling emotional without explanation, feeling like your mind is somewhere between two worlds. That is often when spiritually awakened souls receive the clearest downloads. The world is quiet, distractions disappear, and your soul becomes easier to hear. But most people ignore these moments. They silence their intuition. They distract themselves with noise, because truth can feel uncomfortable before it becomes freeing. And awakening requires courage. Chosen ones carry a unique burden. You feel everything deeply. You absorb energy quickly. You notice shifts before others do. And sometimes it feels exhausting carrying awareness in a world full of denial. But your sensitivity is not weakness. It is spiritual intelligence. The ability to sense what cannot always be seen. The ability to recognize truth beneath appearances. And tonight, your spirit is asking you to stop apologizing for that gift. For too long, you tried to make yourself smaller so others would feel comfortable. You dimmed your light. You stayed quiet about your intuition. You ignored red flags. You tolerated disrespect. But the energy shifting inside you now refuses to continue that cycle. The new version of you wants peace more than approval, truth more than popularity, alignment more than temporary comfort. And that change is going to shock people who underestimated you. There are individuals who secretly thought you would never heal, never rise, never recover from what broke you. But what they failed to understand is that pain transformed you instead of destroying you. Every hardship sharpened your discernment. Every betrayal strengthened your spirit. You stopped seeing yourself as a victim. And the moment a chosen one reclaims their power mentally, everything changes spiritually. That is why tonight feels so intense for many of you. Your energy is shedding layers of fear, layers of insecurity, layers of old programming that convinced you to doubt your worth. And as those layers fall away, your true self becomes impossible to hide. Some of you are beginning to realize that you were never too much. You were simply surrounded by people who could not handle depth, people who feared emotional honesty, people who only understood surface-level connection. But your soul was designed for something deeper. You crave conversations that awaken the mind, connections that nourish the spirit, purpose that means something beyond material success. And because of that, your path will never look ordinary. Chosen ones often walk alone before they lead others. That loneliness was not punishment. It was preparation for self-discovery. Because if you cannot stand confidently in solitude, you will lose yourself seeking validation from crowds. Tonight, many of you are realizing how much energy you wasted trying to be accepted by people who never truly understood you. And instead of feeling bitterness, you feel clarity. Because awakening teaches you that not everyone is meant to accompany you forever. Some souls are temporary teachers. Some are mirrors. Some are lessons disguised as love. And some are simply reminders of what you must never settle for again. The universe removes certain people not because you failed, but because your destiny requires different energy. And although separation hurts in the moment, it often becomes protection later. Chosen one, your spirit is entering a phase where discernment matters more than emotion. Not everyone who smiles at you supports you. Not everyone who compliments you values you. And not everyone walking beside you deserves access to your energy. That realization changes everything. You begin protecting your peace differently. You stop oversharing. You stop chasing people who pull away. You stop begging for understanding from emotionally unavailable souls. And in that silence, your power returns. Because true spiritual growth is not loud. It's subtle, quiet, unshakable. The strongest version of you is not the one seeking revenge. It's the one no longer controlled by chaos. The one who learned to stay calm while everything around them falls apart. The one who trusts divine timing instead of forcing outcomes. And trust me, your patience has not been wasted. The delays had purpose. The waiting had purpose. The isolation had purpose. Even the confusion had purpose. You were being prepared emotionally for the life your spirit asked for long before your mind understood it. That's why certain doors stayed closed no matter how badly you wanted them to open. You were trying to enter rooms your soul had already outgrown. But tonight, your awareness is finally catching up to your destiny. Something bigger is approaching. You can feel it. Not fully see it yet, but feel it. A shift, a breakthrough, a spiritual turning point that changes how you see yourself forever. And the most powerful part, you are no longer afraid of becoming who you truly are. Because deep inside, chosen one, you are finally understanding something most people never realize in their entire lifetime. Your energy creates your reality. And the moment your spirit changes, the world around you begins responding differently. That's why certain opportunities are suddenly appearing out of nowhere. Why random conversations feel meaningful. Why synchronicities keep following you. Repeating numbers. Unexpected signs. Moments that feel too perfectly timed to be coincidence. Your awakening is aligning you with a higher frequency. But alignment also exposes hidden darkness. The closer you move toward your purpose, the more clearly you see who truly supports you and who secretly fears your growth. Some people celebrated your struggles because your pain made them feel comfortable. But your healing, your confidence, your spiritual power, that threatens people who benefited from your self-doubt. Chosen one, never feel guilty for evolving. Never apologize for protecting your peace. And never shrink yourself just because your growth intimidates others. The moon does not dim its light to comfort the darkness. And neither should you. There's a reason your soul feels restless tonight. A reason your intuition feels louder than usual. Your spirit knows a chapter is ending. Not slowly, completely. You may still physically stand in the same place, but energetically, you are already moving forward. And that invisible shift changes everything before visible results even appear. That's how transformation begins. Quietly, internally, spiritually. Most people wait for external proof before believing change is happening. Chosen ones feel the shift before the evidence arrives. And right now, your soul can already sense what's coming. Some of you are about to walk away from environments that have drained you for years. Some of you are finally releasing emotional attachments that kept you trapped in cycles of pain. Some of you are preparing for opportunities bigger than your current reality. And although the future feels uncertain, your spirit knows staying the same is no longer possible. Growth has been calling your name for a long time. But tonight, you are finally answering. The old version of you survived through fear. The new version of you will thrive through awareness. And there is a massive difference between surviving life and consciously creating it. That's why your perspective has changed recently. You no longer chase validation from people who misunderstand you. You no longer force connections that drain your soul. You no longer beg for loyalty from those who repeatedly show inconsistency. Your spirit is learning the power of detachment. And detachment is not coldness. It is wisdom. The understanding that not everything deserves your energy. Not every battle deserves your response. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Chosen ones become powerful the moment they stop reacting emotionally to every distraction. Because peace is strength. Silence is strength. Self-control is strength. Tonight, the universe is teaching you how to move differently. Less desperate. Less anxious. Less attached to outcomes. And more connected to inner certainty. You don't need everyone to believe in you anymore. You don't need constant reassurance anymore. Your soul is beginning to trust itself again. And once that trust returns, fear loses control over your decisions. That is why people from your past may suddenly try re-entering your life soon. Not always because they changed, but because your energy changed. People are naturally drawn toward light once they realize they lost access to it. But this time, your discernment is stronger. This time, your heart and intuition are finally working together. You are no longer ignoring red flags simply because you feel lonely. You are no longer confusing attachment with alignment. And that growth alone will protect your future in ways you cannot yet imagine. Chosen one, your biggest breakthrough is not money, not fame, not status. It is self-awareness. Because once you truly know yourself, manipulation loses power. Fear loses power. The opinions of others lose power. And the world cannot easily control someone who has awakened internally. That's why spiritually awakened people often intimidate others without trying. Your presence alone exposes masks. Your silence makes dishonest people uncomfortable. Your intuition notices what others overlook. And your energy naturally disrupts environments built on illusion. But do not allow this awareness to harden your heart completely. Awakening is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming conscious, learning when to give energy and when to protect it, learning when to speak and when silence says more. Tonight, your spirit is learning balance. Not everyone deserves full access to you, but the right people will never require you to betray yourself to keep them close. Read that again carefully. So, chosen one, if this message reached your soul tonight, don't ignore it. Type "I am awakening" in the comments if you feel this shift happening inside you. Like this video so more chosen ones can find this message before it's too late. Subscribe to Chosen Wave and become part of a community that understands what the world could never explain. And remember this forever: the night that changes everything usually begins in silence.